Hello everybody, it is Swoozy and welcome back to another video. This is my second video I'm posting. Today we are going to be talking about how I made my Bakugou gauntlets. I did a lot of research for these and I had tried like 5 times and I failed 4 times, succeeded the 5th. So there are many different ways to make Bakugou gauntlets. I've seen them made out of, people made the base out of foam. I've seen people make the whole thing out of cardboard. For me, this is the cheapest and the easiest way that I was able to find. So obviously, here is the gauntlets. Let me show you one. So here's the full look. The bottom is still clear, which I think I might eventually want to repaint that again, but for now, this is it. For future prop making videos, I do want to record the process to show you guys. I know I have some videos which were on my Instagram, so you guys should definitely check my Instagram out. It's SwoozyChan. But here, let's get on to talking about how I made these gauntlets. Okay, so for materials, I have a little book here. You're gonna want 2 Cheeseball containers, 2mm foam, a 1/2 inch foam, paint, black, green, and silver, heat gun, a box cutter / X-Acto knife. You can use both or one, and cardboard. Now remember, for me guys, I made these gauntlets based off of what I had around the house, some materials that I already had. So with some of these materials like cardboard, you can like switch if you're buying all these things from start. But let me talk about the process now. Okay, so this started off as a Cheeseball container. I'm going to see if I can insert an image somewhere. But started off as a Cheeseball container. Now, what I did was I ended up cutting a little U, I guess it would be a very boxy U, over here. When you cut plastic, it's very, very hard. So what I did is with a heat gun, this is my heat gun, I decided to heat up the places to kind of melt the plastic a little bit, and then got my box cutter and cut it down. For these, I would recommend definitely a box cutter instead of an X-Acto knife. It's gonna make it a lot easier. When cutting the plastic, please be careful, please be patient. If you are not patient, well, for one, you can mess up your lines, and 2, you can hurt yourself. So please, when cutting plastic, please be patient. If you're like still little, please get help from an adult or something. But yes, so I cut out a box shape first. Next was the bottom. Now, as you can see, the bottom for me is a little bit scratchy. For me, that didn't bother me because I was gonna have gloves on. Now, if you're not gonna wear gloves and you want to be extra careful, please make sure that it is not sharp here. You can definitely add like 2mm foam around it to like cushion it, which I might do eventually. But yes, you're gonna want to do the same process you did for cutting the little box up here. You're gonna want to heat it and cut it. I definitely recommend to draw on the areas first before you cut it. I did not mention that, I'm sorry. So you're going to want to draw a line with maybe like a Sharpie or a marker or anything you have to sketch out where you want to cut. That way you have like a guideline. I've seen some people like cut up newspapers and like, you know, use newspaper as a guideline. Just try to create guidelines on where you want to cut. Now, the cutting process, I'm going to be honest, it takes a while. You're not going to be able to finish cutting in 5 minutes. No, it's going to take a while to cut. So just keep that in mind. This whole entire process is very time consuming. All right, next, you are going to want to color it. Now, you can use spray paint, black spray paint, which I definitely recommend to use spray paint and not do what I did. I painted it with acrylic paint because I was impatient and I did not want to wait for the spray paint. But I definitely recommend to spray paint it black. But if you don't want to spray paint it black and you're going to use black acrylic paint because that is what you have, then that is okay. When you do, though, I'm not sure how it's going to react to spray paint, but for acrylic paint, it's going to take a couple coats, and even then, if you look like absolutely closely, you can still see some see-through areas. But since it is clear, you're going to have to do multiple coats if you are going to use acrylic paint. So 1 coat, let it dry, another coat. I think for me it took like 5 coats more or less. So yes, while that dries and while you're doing that, you can create these boxes. Now these boxes I cut out of 2mm foam, and everything that I use, guys, will be in the description down below. To try to get, I get most of my stuff off of Amazon, Walmart, you know, cheaper places. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, 2mm foam. Now the 2mm foam that I got came in a pack of like a bunch of them, which I'm going to show you. I keep all my foam in this little box. So I took it out of the original seal, but it came with all these funky colors instead of one individual color, which didn't bother me personally because I just cut it out and I painted it. Now if you're going to do that and you're going to get this, I believe it was like $5, I don't know, but it was not that expensive. If you want to go to this area that is cool too, I would just get like a really light color. You see I use white. All like the base colors are all gone, but I just grabbed the lightest color. I cut that out in a box, and then I would paint it with green acrylic paint. And that was basically the process for the boxes. And I think, yeah, if you can see really lightly, that was the original green, but the green paint I had was not the same as the original green, so I just painted over everything. I ended up doing like 2 coats over the boxes just to make sure. Now for me, the boxes are uneven. I personally like that, but if you want to be really precise and make it really even, then you can definitely do that too. With that same material, I ended up creating a base, which there's some green on it. We're not gonna talk about that. I ended up creating the base, or not the base, these little outlines you see here. Now, I think this is the best. You can also paint over it with silver, but I personally liked the 3D effect that it gave. So yeah, you're gonna want to do that. And then next, we have these little triggers. So for this trigger, I ended up using a 1/2 inch foam that I ended up having in my closet. You could probably use cardboard if you wanted to, but it's just kind of play and go. I liked the thickness of it for the trigger, so yes, I didn't have enough foam. I only had enough foam to create 2 of these. So as you see, one side is textured and one side is smooth. Now if you do have more foam, I would recommend gluing 2 pieces together just so both sides are smooth, but I did with what I had. And then next is the inside. You're going to want to have a little, what's it called? A little plate, I guess you would call it, to hold your hand. I used cardboard because I ran out of EVA foam. I've seen some people use EVA foam. If you want to use EVA foam, you can definitely try it. But I had no more, so I used cardboard. Just a normal cardboard piece. I cut it out. I measured. Measuring the in part was kind of difficult, so I recommend making it bigger. It's always better to make it bigger. If it's too small, you're gonna have incidents like this. Now from afar, it looks fine, but from up front, you can definitely see that I had to add another piece because it was way too small. So that's just an example of mistakes. So I definitely recommend make it bigger and cut it smaller, measuring it slowly, and be patient. As well as I just painted that over with silver paint, and I added a little grunge on the inside. For me, I love adding grunge to my projects, especially Bakugou. His quirk is explosion, so I feel like there would definitely be some rust here. But yeah, that's really it. I definitely want to try to make another one of these and experiment a little bit more, but considering the price was very, very cheap, as all the products down in the description so you guys can buy them to make your beautiful Bakugou gauntlets. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up. And if you do end up making these Bakugou gauntlets using my way, definitely at me on Instagram. I would be like so happy to see you guys' process. I love looking at props and prop making. So yeah, you should definitely at me if you decide to make them. My at is at SwoozyChan. And yeah, hope you guys have fun prop making, have fun cosplay time, and I love you all. Bye.